Letting go is one of the simplest things to say and one of the hardest things to do. We all know the feeling, the memories that refuse to leave, the emotions that stay long after the moment has passed, the people who walked away, but still sit somewhere inside the mind, like a picture hung on a wall you never meant to keep. This is the quiet, invisible weight many of us carry, the weight of what we haven't yet learned to release. And yet, letting go is not about forgetting. It is not erasing what happened or pretending it never mattered. Letting go is an act of understanding. It is a process of transforming what once hurt into something that no longer controls us. It is the art of freeing the heart without denying its history. Why is letting go so difficult? Because the mind is wired to hold on. Evolution built us to cling to what feels familiar, even when the familiar hurts us. The brain loves patterns. It returns to the same thoughts, the same stories, the same memories because repetition feels safe. Painful, maybe, but predictable. And so we wander in loops, replaying moments that no longer exist, trying to solve something that is already over. Letting go means breaking this loop. It means stepping into the unfamiliar, where the mind no longer knows what comes next. And for many, that uncertainty is more frightening than the pain they already know. There is another reason we struggle: attachment. We don't only attach to people. We attach to identities, expectations, imagined futures. We attach to the version of ourselves who existed in a moment that felt right, or whole, or promising. Letting go forces us to accept that the story didn't unfold the way we once believed it would. And that acceptance can feel like a small death. The death of an idea, a dream, or a version of ourselves we aren't ready to say goodbye to. But here is the truth we rarely hear. Holding on doesn't protect us. It only prolongs the ache. What we resist persists. What we cling to hardens. And what we fear releasing is often the very thing keeping us stuck. Letting go begins with awareness. Notice what you're carrying. Not with judgment, not with pressure, just recognition. What memory keeps returning to you? What thought loops your mind? What name, what moment, what regret still lives like a shadow behind your ribs? Awareness is the doorway. When you see what you're holding, you create the possibility to loosen your grip. You don't have to drop everything at once. You don't have to pretend you're ready when you're not, but you do have to be honest. Honest about the weight. Honest about the damage. Honest about what that weight is costing you. Letting go is not an event. It is a practice. Some days you will wake up feeling lighter. Other days the memory will hit you again, as if no time has passed. This does not mean you're failing. Healing is not linear. Think of letting go like untying a knot. It loosens slowly. A little pressure here, a little patience there. And eventually the knot gives way. But never because you ripped it apart, only because you gently persuaded it to release. The mind will say, "But what if I forget?" It won't. What's yours becomes wisdom. What was meant to teach you stays in its transformed shape. Letting go does not erase the lesson, it simply removes the suffering wrapped around it. We often believe that letting go dishonors what once mattered, but the truth is the opposite. When you let go, you honor the experience by accepting it fully, not as something you need to rewrite or relive, but as something that shaped you and now belongs to the past. Another layer of letting go is forgiveness, not always of others, but often of yourself. You didn't know then what you know now. You made choices with the tools you had. You loved with the heart you had. You trusted with the innocence you had. Self-forgiveness is not permission to repeat the same mistakes. It's an acknowledgement that you, like everyone, are human, imperfect, and learning. When you forgive yourself, you free yourself from replaying the same moments again and again, trying to rewrite them. The past doesn't need a new ending, it needs acceptance. And then there is fear. Fear that emptiness will follow release. Fear that if you let go, something better won't replace it. But emptiness is not a void, it is space. And space is where new life grows. What looks empty is simply uncluttered. What feels lonely is actually open. The heart cannot receive while it is full of old stories. Letting go creates the room you need to evolve, to change, to discover what life has been waiting to give you. Letting go also requires trust. Trust that every ending has its timing. Trust that what leaves creates space for what aligns. Trust that you don't need to control everything to be safe. Control may feel like strength, but real strength is surrender. Surrender is not giving up. It is giving in to what is real. It is saying, this hurts, but I won't let the hurt define me. This is heavy, but I won't carry it forever. This chapter is over, and I am brave enough to turn the page. The psychology of letting go teaches us that the mind remembers, but the body holds. Trauma, disappointment, heartbreak. They don't just live in memory, they live in muscle, in breath, in posture. This is why letting go is not just mental, it is physical. Sometimes the first step is simply breathing differently. Inhaling deeply, exhaling slowly, telling your nervous system you are safe now. The body lets go before the mind does. When your breath softens, your thoughts soften. When your shoulders relax, your heart follows. Letting go is also an act of choosing yourself, choosing your peace over your past, choosing your growth over your grief, choosing your future over your fear. You are not abandoning what was. You are honoring what can be. You are not leaving something behind. You are moving towards something ahead. And you deserve to move forward. In time, you will look back and realize something powerful. The things you clung to were not holding you together. They were holding you back. The people you thought you needed were chapters, not destinies. The pain you replayed was a lesson, not a life sentence. And the moment you released it, the moment you finally loosened your grip, the world became wider, the air became lighter. Your chest opened, your breath deepened, and you felt, maybe for the first time in a long time, free. Freedom is what letting go gives you. Not freedom from memory, but freedom from suffering. Not freedom from history, but freedom from its hold. And that freedom is not loud. It does not arrive like a celebration. It arrives quietly, like a calm morning after a long storm. A softness, a lightness, a subtle but unmistakable peace. This is the psychology of letting go. To feel what hurt you without letting it become who you are. To accept what happened without carrying it into every tomorrow. To release what weighs you down so you can rise into what's next. Letting go is not weakness. It is courage. It is strength. It is wisdom. And it is the greatest gift you can give yourself. Because once you let go, you are finally free to become.